All right, Shalom Akim. We would like to start off by giving our honor and glory to
Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahushua, Ba'Shem, Rakakwadash.
We want to give double honor to our apostles, the great millstone, Ruel. Peace and blessings to the house of David the elect. All right.
Yeah, this is going to be actually a quick lesson examining Revelation 18, verse 7. All right, bro.
Revelation chapter 18, verse 1. After these things, I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and the cage of every unclean and hateful bird.
That's right. So if you can receive this in the spirit, Babylon the great is actually America. And this in the scripture is actually talking about post-destruction, man. Once the missiles has actually made America desolate. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 3. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacy.
Right, and that's the reason why America is also identified as that harlot. Okay, because what these kings do is basically they subject themselves just to get the riches and stuff from America, you know. So long story short, like Apostle Zahar made a good point, mainly they sell out through that form of democracy, because even at this time frame you still have these other nations, they still believe in their religion and their traditions, but it's just when it comes to that democracy format, it's when they really start to exploit themselves.
They get seduced. Like I said, they get seduced.
They get seduced, right?
So that's why you have these presidents in all these nations. You know, get voted in. You know, because even Iran has a president.
Right.
Japan got a president or prime minister. China, everyone has these presidents, man. You know, that's the form of that democracy, man. Because these nations used to have monarchies, man.
Right.
You know, going back to that diverse beast. You know, Daniel 7th chapter.
Verse 4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues.
Right, and those plagues is actually talking about the missiles. Okay? Go ahead, bro.
For her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High have remembered her iniquities.
Go ahead.
Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her double according to her works. And the cup which she hath filled to her double.
God. Continue.
I got a quote.
Oh, go ahead.
This is Jeremiah 51 and 6. It says, Flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off from her iniquity, for this is the time of the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua vengeance.
Right, and this is the grace period of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. And at this time frame, you have to flee from a spiritual standpoint. Okay, that's how you flee first. You flee spiritually, and we're willing. We are the hopeful elect. Then actually, we will be redeemed from a physical standpoint. Go ahead, bro.
He will render unto her a recompense.
Right, a recompense. And what's a recompense? It means to be paid back. So America is going to be judged for its whoredom, okay, and also how it basically has attempted to destroy our nation, okay, as well as basically leading these other nations into whoredom and so on and so forth.
Because a lot of people going to be guilty by association. You know, so you don't want to be spiritually associated with this place.
Right.
You know, during that time when we have Ba'Shem Yahushua recompense, man.
That's right.
Babylon got a hell of a judgment that's coming. You know, so you do not want to have no spiritual attachment, no emotional attachment to this place, man.
Yeah.
You know?
That's right. You got more, bro?
Yeah, because it's proven, you know, what you were saying in verse 3, Revelation 18 and 3. It said, Babylon had been a golden cup in the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua hand.
Right, and that's a beautiful point the brother just brought out, because if you go into that golden cup, it actually makes sense how America is also identified as that queen. Okay, go ahead, bro.
And it says that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad.
You want to add to that, bro?
Yeah, because all these nations have took on the philosophies of Babylon, and now they mad, you know, and because America's philosophy has ruined, all right, the morality of the planet Earth, man. You know, the wickedness that you see, all right, protrude through the planet Earth, America is the source of that. That's why she's known as the mother of harlots.
That's right, bro.
The ordeal with the U.S. dollar. You know what I'm saying? It just, just prove America's, their vibration. You got these other nations, how they used to, where they come in attire back in the day. You said they wear ties and suits now. You know what I'm saying? And, they follow the same way, same customs as America now.
Yeah. And also, in order to operate a plane, you have to know English. That is the common language for pilots. So, hey, the scriptures prove that America is Babylon, and therefore America will be destroyed, man.
Just a quick
Go
point.
ahead, bro.
Japan, from 2008 to 2015, has decreased 1 million in their population because of the women have stopped being nurses. They've stopped being women and went into careers, and nobody's getting married and having offspring anymore over there in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a negative ripple effect on their population, and nobody is nursing the older women now.
Right.
So the only people that's left to nurse the older women are the less older women.
That's right.
So it's a negative ripple effect
Mm-hmm.
on the population, man.
That's right. But see, America has taught these women who is whoredom as well to be career oriented.
Yeah.
Okay, instead of being, like you said, nurturers from a woman's standpoint, to be go-getters.
And Esau's worked this magic so potently.
Mm-hmm.
A woman, it's like a taboo. It's bad for a woman to have babies before she starts her career.
Right.
It's bad for a woman to have babies before she finishes school, man.
Right.
And like what the officials, the governors were saying in Japan was like, no, it's okay to have babies. It's okay to start a family. They see the effect of following Babylon.
Right.
Like that documentary we're talking about, it came out in Vice. I think it's called pretty much Saudi Arabia over there. They getting fat because they got restaurants like Burger King, Pizza, and stuff like that, man.
Especially like Kuwait, I think.
That's it. That's what it was.
They serve camel burgers and they make them.
Yeah. It's actually Kuwait Salafi. And that's why I see the Queen, because Queen goes back to a prostitute. That's how America is, man. It sells itself to all the nations, just like a whore does, man.
And the Statue of Liberty is their whore that they greet them when they come here. You know what I'm saying? That's why she out there in that water, like, come to the city that never sleeps. Babylon the Great,
Yeah, bro.
That's the first thing you see because historically speaking, everybody will enter the ports of New York.
Right.
And the first thing they will see is the Statue of Liberty. It's to back up the brother Aisha Yard, man. All the immigrants will start off in the ports of New York, going to the 1800s, the 20th century.
Yeah.
All right. Going back to verse 7.
Yeah, go back to verse 7.
Revelation chapter 18, verse 7. How much she have glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she said in her heart, I sit a queen and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow.
All right, now, when you focus on that term queen in the Greek,
Strong's G 938. Basilisa.
all right? And then when you go into the origin of that, I'm going to get to the point, it states a metaphor to exercise the highest influence to control, all right? So bring that scripture back out when you talked about being a golden cup.
Okay, come on. This is back in Jeremiah 51:7. Babylon had been a golden cup.
Right. So Babylon has actually been the highest influence of these other nations to commit these wicked sins, man. All right, go ahead, bro.
And it says that made all the earth drunken. The nation had drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad.
Right. So that golden cup, meaning that America has that highest influence. Because like if we're actually participating in the Olympics, everybody wants to go. The cup is actually going into the portion. All right, so America has a keen position in wickedness. All right, it has been created to mislead these other nations, ultimately for its destruction, as well as these other nations being judged. Man, you want to add something, bro?
Because you don't see, America conforming to these other nations.
Hell no.
All right, these other nations conforming to America, man. These big corporations. You know, the way that people dress. You know, you go into the middle of the Silent Raven Desert, man. It's gonna be somebody in a damn Adidas suit, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's where they get that influence from, America, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Mm-hmm. And to prove that point, what we just stated through the Spirit, Revelation 18:3, for all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. All right. So if we get another key word in this scripture, we're gonna get widow. Chicago, you got that article. All right. So according to the Greek, widow is
Strong's G 5503. Hater.
all right. So we go into it as from a metaphorical standpoint. It states a city stripped of its inhabitants. All right, going into the people, and riches is represented under the figure of a widow. All right, so prior to the Most High actually judging America, then it has never had war, on its own land. Okay, the things we have seen, it has also been orchestrated through false flags. Okay, so what are the riches of America? Bring out that article, bro.
It's from the balance.com. The title says 6 U.S. natural resources that boost the economy. So natural resources are materials from the earth that people use to meet their needs. There are 2 major types of natural resources. The first, renewable resources.
So America's riches is only what? It's natural resources. All right, and we're going to see what's included in these natural resources. Go ahead.
The first, renewable resources are those that are used at a slower rate than they are replaced. These include water, wind, and the sun. 2 categories, plants and animals, are considered renewable, even though we may be entering the 6th mass extinction.
Mm-hmm.
The second, non-renewable resources are those that humanity uses faster than nature can replenish them.
All right, I should kind of tell you what. Now, bro, jump down. It has in that article, continue reading, press that, and get to the U.S. natural resources that give America an edge.
Okay. And, it says the U.S. natural resources that give America an edge. Number 1, large landmass.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
2, coastline.
Right. So you go to the article, it states the United States is blessed with an unusual abundance of 6 natural resources. First, it has a large landmass that early on became governed by one political system. Go ahead, bro.
3, farmland.
And did you say second? Read the second.
2, coastline.
Coastline. So second one, it is bordered by 2 large coastlines that provide food and ports for commerce. All right. So what? Natural resources. 1 was what? The landmass. Right. Number 2 was actually what? The coastlines. All right. Go ahead, bro.
America's large coastline mean no hostile governments border it. This allowed the U.S. to develop peacefully without the need to incur large war costs.
Mm-hmm.
And 3 is farmland.
Go ahead, read some of that farmland, bro.
It says, unlike Australia and Canada, the U.S. had temperate climates combined with fertile soil.
Mm-hmm.
The early settlers found rich soil on the Great Plains. This is the 502,000 square miles between the Mississippi River and the Rocky Mountains.
Mm-hmm.
The plains was a huge basin sculpted out by glaciers during the Great Ice Age.
Now go to 4, bro.
All right. And number 4 is water.
Mm-hmm.
Lakes, rivers, and streams provide 80% of the water used in America.
Mm-hmm.
The electric power industry uses an astonishing 41%.
Mm-hmm.
Water cools electricity to generate equipment, but it is returned.
Now jump to 5.
5 is oil, coal, and gas.
Mm-hmm.
America has the world's largest reserves of coal at 491 billion short tons, or 27% of the total.
Mm-hmm.
This abundant source of energy helped fuel U.S. growth during the Industrial Revolution.
Mm-hmm.
It fueled steamships and steam-powered railroads after the Civil War. Coke, a derivative of coal, was used to fuel the iron blast furnaces that made steel.
Now jump to 6.
Number 6 is people.
People are going into slaves. All right, because the reason why America became so great is because of slave trade, man, and slave labor.
Right.
Go ahead, bro.
Revelation 18:12. The merchandise of gold. Oh, y'all already had that?
No.
All right. All right. Let's see. Revelation 18:11. And the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth their merchandise anymore. The merchandise of gold and silver and precious stones, and of pearls and of fine linen and purple and silk and scarlet and thyme wood and all manner of vessels of ivory.
And you can thank Bill Clinton that he created, or actually he didn't create shit, but he actually signed into existence NAFTA. All right, that's what made all our companies got traded overseas, man. And it was also it was led by what's a guy named Ronald Reagan. All right, so that goes to show you that once these presidents come into office, they just follow the lead of the other predecessor, man.
Right.
You know?
North American free trade.
Yeah. You know. Go ahead, man. I'm sorry.
So good. And all manner vessels of most precious wood, and of brass and iron and marble, and cinnamon and odors and ointments, and frankincense and wine and oil, and fine flour and wheat and beasts and sheep and horses and chariots and slaves and souls of men.
You want to add?
Yeah. Babylon waxed rich through slaves. Us. You know?
Yeah, look at all the top banks in America right now. Where all they started from. Slavery. All the college institutions.
Yeah.
You know, I forgot one in particular, man. Like a lot of these different firms, I want to say it was like insurance. You know, they first come and stop was so-called African American slaves.
Right.
Yeah, JP Morgan Bank, all right, actually used slaves as collateral for slave owners, man. So if when the JP Morgan rented out property to slave owners, they used the slaves as collateral, man. So JP Morgan Bank owned slaves.
All right. So can you read Revelation 18:7 again?
Okay, come on. Revelation chapter 18, verse 7, it says, how much she have glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her, for she said in her heart, I sit a queen and am no widow.
So she said a queen means she has the highest influence at this time frame. Go ahead.
And shall see no sorrow.
Right. And am no widow, because at this time frame, before the Most High judges America still has its inhabitants as well as what made it rich, going into the natural resources as well.
Right.
And those natural resources, according to that article, included people. All right. And so how do you know it's true? Because the elder just brought out a scripture, talked about how America became great because of slaves, man. All right. You want to add something?
And none of those natural resources will mean nothing without the last one, the people. You know, because you can have all the coal, the oil, and all these different things, but you didn't have the people to actually work those resources and put those resources into operation. You know, it wouldn't matter. You know, so at the end of the day, the last resource, which was the people, all right, which are the slaves, that's what activates, you know, and make those resources operational, man.
Somebody has to work those coal mines. Somebody has to grow those cash crops. All right, and even today, it's still slavery.
No.
You clocking in, you a slave.
Right.
Somebody else is getting paid off your labor. All right.
Yeah, I watched a documentary last night. It was showing like, well, a lot of these people don't know about makeup companies, and over there in India, they got it's some type of preservative they have in all makeups called mica or mica, and you have little kids over there right now in India going into all different mines and stuff like that. A lot of them dying from the debris and shit like that, and they selling it out to these big makeup companies in America. Man.
And America's gonna be judged for that, man.
You know, that's child labor.
Hey, all the stuff you like to eat, all that chocolate, those cacao plant fields, man.
Yeah, the kids.
Little kids is going and they're being produced in little sweatshops, man. All right, it's slavery, man. Esau has enslaved the whole world. That's why a lot of manufacturing companies are outside of America, outside of the minimum wage law.
That's right.
Because you pay them a bag of rice a day.
That's it. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 8.
Well, no, we threw on that. So, okay, so to the point, so what is going to strip America to make America a widow? Okay, so why will America not be classified as a queen anymore? Somebody get Isaiah 9:5, because the Most High has various armies, man. You got something, Tyler? Okay, get Isaiah 9 and 5, Isaiah 9 and 6. You can bring out that Isaiah 34 and 5, bro. Since you
It's Isaiah 34 and 5.
Mm-hmm.
It says, "For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea."
Right, and Idumea, who is that? Okay, these modern day white people, these modern day so-called white people. But according to the scriptures, they are your biblical Edomites, okay? And then it talks about my sword shall be bathed in heaven. If you go into the Hebrew, another term for bathe is talking about it's going to be, the skies will be saturated, okay? Meaning that the skies will be covered, okay, with missiles that are sent by Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. All right, these nations are not creating these missiles for nothing, okay? They're creating it to be used. And once the Most High plan is fulfilled, okay, his will is done, then they're going to send them bitches off.
Scripture say what 200,000 missiles?
Yeah, that's 200 million missiles.
So just think about all the missiles in the air. That's like it's bathing in the sky.
Yeah, well, you saw 300 at the end when they shot the missiles. I mean, those arrows on Leonidas, man. It was literally saturated. You know.
Now you ever see on Discovery Channel the phenomenon of thousands upon thousands of birds swarming in a particular environment, and the whole sky be dark.
Mm-hmm. No, Isaiah 95.
Yeah.
Go ahead, bro. Yeah, go ahead, bro.
Alright. And it says, "And it shall come to pass, it shall come down upon Idumea and upon the people of my curse to judgment.
Mm-hmm.
The sword of the Lord is filled with blood.
Mm-hmm.
It is made fat with fatness,
Mm-hmm.
and with the blood of lambs and goats,
Mm-hmm.
with the fats of the kidneys of rams.
Mm-hmm.
For the Lord have a sacrifice in Basra,
Okay, and Basra is modern day America. Okay, go ahead, bro.
and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea."
Right, and America is their reference point. And you can receive that in the spirit. Go ahead.
"And the unicorn shall come down with them, and the bullocks with the bulls, and their land shall be soaked with blood,
Mm-hmm.
and their dust made fat with fatness.
Mm-hmm.
For it is the day of the Lord's vengeance,
Mm-hmm.
the year of recompense for the controversy of Zion.
Continue.
And the streams thereof shall be turned into pitch,
And that's literal. Go ahead.
and the dust thereof into
Go
brimstone,
ahead.
and the land thereof shall become burning pitch.
Continue.
It shall be quenched night nor day.
Right. It shall not be quenched night nor day. Why? Because these missiles has made contact with this landmass. Okay, making America that widow, stripping America from its inhabitants as well as its riches, going into its natural resources. Man, go ahead, bro.
The smoke thereof shall go up forever.
Right, and that's just a long process of time. Go ahead, bro.
From generation to generation, it shall lie waste.
Mm-hmm.
None shall pass through it forever and ever.
Right, and that's the point. So once the Most High judges this place, it will never be inhabited again. Okay, all right. Only nuclear activity can promote this type of destruction. Okay, all right. They're called intercontinental missiles. All right. When you go into that term intercontinental, it means across land. Meaning it's going to be shot from one side of the earth to the other side of the earth. All right?
You said not Yellowstone National Park.
Man, these niggas talking about a volcano. All right? You might as well say your fucking fireplace going to destroy this bitch. Go ahead, bro. Times one.
Hey, this is Isaiah 9 and 5.
Mm-hmm.
For every battle of the warrior is with confusion noise.
Right. Because if you've seen what the Last Samurai, if you've seen Troy, if you've seen Spartacus, it's a confusion of noise. You know, you have so many fights going on at one time. You know, you hear war cries and screams and all of that, people that are actually dying, being stabbed, and so on and so forth. But go ahead, bro.
And garments rolled in blood.
Right.
But this shall be burnt. This shall be with burning and fury of fire.
This shall be burning with what?
Fury of fire.
Fury of fire. So what would need fury of fire? Missiles. Okay. This is what is going to make America a widow. Okay. Another tactic of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. All right. Y'all got something else? Go ahead.
All right, this is
Because if you go into a widow, you know, a widow has lost her husband, You know, her husband is her source of income. You know, you go to the ancient world. So America gonna be stripped of all those resources you just named: the people, the water, the coal,
the landmass, the coastlines.
Yeah, it's gonna be stripped of all her resources.
Hey, the brother just read in Isaiah 34. It talked about how those streams are going to be turned into a pitch. The coastlines.
Yeah. You know? Yeah, that was the big advantage. That was one of the great parts of this place. The coastline, how they import and export shit out.
Right.
So when ain't gonna be no export, no export, no import, no exporting.
Exactly.
No, it's over with. It's gonna be over with.
Right. And this is Isaiah 47:1. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans. For thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. Okay?
Breaking it down, man. Like pulling down strongholds.
Exactly.
And that's really starting with the word Yahweh Shai. That's when you start seeing America start getting exposed from, you know, across all these other nations now, man. That's prophecy, man.
Right.
You see, that's why everybody's looking at America as the enemy now.
My bad.
Now, so you go on presstv.com and you just read some of the comments on different articles. Like, they hate America, man. They call it the Western. You know, or the West, or whatever.
Yeah,
man, they really hate America, man.
Right. Even Ammon, you remember back in the day when we seen a documentary. I think it was regarding 9/11. Okay, and prior to the so-called planes making contact with the buildings, they had paused the fucking video. Glass was already being dispersed out. Going to show you that there were bombs planted on every floor. That is the reason why the firefighters kept saying they heard
big boom
sounds going off as they was trying to incline, step by step. You know? All right, you got something, bro?
Yeah. Isaiah 13, to point 5. They come from a far country, from the end of heaven, even Yahweh Ba'Shem Shai, and the weapons of his indignation. What does indignation mean? Righteous anger. All right. So the Most High has every right to be upset of how America has presented itself. Okay. During its rulership as a whore. Okay. And how they killed the saints. Well, Salaki not killed the saints, but murdered the saints. Because even 2/3 of our people are still classified as saints. All right. But we know everything starts with the elect. And then they also manipulated these other countries to leave their customs, their traditions, and to follow suit. You know? It says, and the weapons is in the nation to destroy the whole land.
Right. And then where did it say it was coming from? From where?
From a far country.
Intercontinental missiles, man, across land. And then Try to Refine was talking about that it was going to actually happen on one landmass. Well, why is it called intercontinental missiles then? Niggas is stupid.
I got one.
All right, go ahead, bro.
2 Ezra 16:13. For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow.
Right. His
arrows that he shooteth are sharp and shall not miss.
Right. The arrows are the missiles, okay? And the bows are the silos. Those things that will assist with ejecting the missiles from point A to B. A is on that side of the land. B is on this side on the earth. Go ahead, bro.
And shall not miss when they begin to be shot into
right. And what precept do you think of the book of Joel when it talks about how the missiles will not break their ranks? You know what I'm saying? Even if they fall on the sword, they're still going to go where they're supposed to go. Why? Because the Most High Spirit is going to guide them to its appropriate destination, man. Go ahead, bro.
When they begin to be shot into the ends of the world.
When they begin to be shot towards the ends of the world. So from Russia to America, when they come over here, this is the end of the world. From China to America, this is the end of the world. Intercontinental missile, man. This is the technology that is going to destroy America. This is the technology that is going to deem America that widow and strip America from its inhabitants as well as its riches. That's it, man. Y'all got something else?
Hey, I got to say this one thing. Let's not forget about this. You know, for the brothers that's listening, you know, part of our trials is distractions. So let's make this our hope, man. Let's make America being destroyed and the kingdom coming shortly after our hope. And let's not get sidetracked, man.
Yeah.
As it says in Timothy, no man that warreth integrate himself with the affairs of this life. So
yeah. And then, like the Zaquan said, you know, what Satan do is part of that craftiness. He will use you against you.
Right.
So, you know, and a lot of times we be controlled by our lust, and the next thing you know, you out the truth, man. It can happen just that fast. All right, Lord willing, this was an edifying lesson. All praises to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Kakodash.
Double honor to the apostles and the elders, and salutations to you, sincere brothers, teaching in truth and in sincerity. Shalom.
Shalom.